like to bring on our first guest of the program, Tibi Zohar, CEO of DoctorGlobe. Tibi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great. Great to have you on the program with us today.
Thanks very much for having me. I'm honored, you guys.
Good. Tibi, give our market or give our audience a little backgrounder on yourself and what DoctorGlobe is doing, and then we'll kind of take a deeper dive together.
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning again. Yes, I'm a 37-year veteran in financial services, mainly insurance in the corporate world and benefits in both countries. In two countries, I actually immigrated to California in 2001 from Israel after 22 years of practicing that there. So I do have a little overview on human nature over the American one and kind of a more global outlook at it. And we're pretty much the same in terms of humanity and needs. And so obviously with the ACA at the end of 2012, just between the enactment and the implementation of the ACA, of the Affordable Care Act, I realized after all these years that the Affordable Care Act may not make care more affordable. And so and that's number one. Number two, I realized that probably the only industry that hasn't joined 21st century online consumerism is hospital care, is inpatient care. Out of the two most expensive things in healthcare, which is prescription drugs and inpatient care, obviously, prescription drugs has joined. You know, guys, how many emails, I don't want to tell you about what you get every day, and you can buy everything along every line and everywhere on the globe. While the obscurity of hospitals is maintained close to the chest, because as you know, there are big interests to keep it this way, and so I set out to find a way to usher inpatient care into 21st century online healthcare consumerism, and I think we've done a pretty good job.
So Tibi, take me through, what DoctorGlobe does to identify quality, solve transparency, and exploit this inefficiency.
Yes. So DoctorGlobe basically is the first and only domestic hospital shopping platform, much like an Orbitz or an Expedia or a Priceline. Just substitute the hotels and flights to hospitals around the United States. What we've done is we've used big data about pricing, past pricing, average pricing of hospitals around the country to actually identify where the best way is to exploit the variance in price, which is much more overwhelming than anything else, than even the height of prices. We found that you can basically send someone to have a heart bypass if you send them from California to Maryland, for instance, and you give them 5% of bonus from the difference of price. This person would actually get a bigger bonus than the reimbursement that his surgeon in Maryland will get for performing the surgery. Only in America that could actually happen. And a huge savings. It's a 5% of the savings. That's all. It's in the hundreds of thousands of difference. So that's number one. Number two, obviously, you don't want to get bargain treatment for bargain price. So the second thing that we looked at, besides exploiting this difference, is what's the correlation between price and quality in this country. And this is, of course, it's stunning. That if there is correlation, it's inverse. the lack of transparency, the lack of a market created an anomaly that of course, consumerism could avoid looking at. And so not only you're going and getting that much of a difference, but also you're going to Johns Hopkins to do it.
Right.
So, and that not, and don't misunderstand me, it doesn't have to be across the country. It could be across the county, okay? It could be, I mean, here in San Diego, in beautiful La Jolla, you can find two hospitals half a mile from one another. One is UCSD, and the other one is Scripps La Jolla, both beautiful. One is 25% charging above average for a knee replacement, and the other is 35% charging under average for the same exact thing. Some physicians actually operate in both, and no one knows.
Yeah, it's amazing the correlation between price and quality, like it normally exists in other markets, is somewhat non-existent in this market. To your point, so tell me about the business model at Tibi. I mean, what do the destinations themselves support this? Can employers and others come in here and use this at no charge? Tell me about the business model.
Yes. So first, in terms of the providers, we decided that a real consumerism, to really make a real consumerism environment, we need to, in a sense, disregard the providers as though they were retailers, in a sense. Okay, we took a different stance. What we found was that along the years, in the past, two ways kind of evolved of mitigating this issue. One is to negotiate your pricing, which the big carriers did already, and I don't think anybody could really do better. Okay, I mean, in essence, they've done a good job. So one way is to go into Neiman Marcus and say, let's negotiate the price. Okay, well, you can do that. I don't know how many consumers would do that, but let's say that's one way. The other way, of course, that sprung along the road is the reference-based pricing model, where you go into Neiman Marcus, you buy whatever you want, you get to the register, you say, I have $20 for you. This is what I think it's worth. Okay,
right.
Or whatever it is, and it may work as well, but it's not consumerism, so it's fine, it does up. So we decided to actually have big data to look at those providers at those hospitals as providers of their services, and then actually kind of implement. Imagine you're driving, your car, and you look on your right hand side of the road, and you see an outlet, okay, that has all brand names. And that you can see Fifth Avenue, you see Nordstrom, you see everywhere. What crosses your mind is, hey, if I go into this one, I may actually find the same exact things for 30% less on average. Is that correct?
Right.
That's what goes through. We see outlets. Oh, everybody's celebrating. So imagine in this environment, to kind of analogize what we've done. Imagine your daughter needs a prom dress, okay? For her, at that age, is as important as a triple bypass for me at my age, okay? So she wants a prom dress, and you give her your credit card to go buy the prom dress. Now, you don't know what the bill would be, do you? It's an unknown. She hasn't gone yet.
Right.
If you had two other daughters in the past doing it already, it doesn't help you much, does it? It's past claims. This is a new claim. You don't know what's going to happen either way.
Right.
Kind of analogizing. Now, would you rather she took that credit card to the outlet or to Nordstrom or Fifth Avenue itself? That's the question. Okay?
Yep.
And the same exact dress for less. And so that's what we've done. And so what we're doing is we're making every patient, every employee, the center of the universe. We look at a radius around that center, and our algorithm would find what the average price for this particular procedure has been around that parameter where this employee would go anyway. And then we're displaying and ranking everything around the country that charges less than that average. And not just a little bit less, but less after adding every expense, because we have a bonus system here to, engage the employee. Everything is included, so it's net savings.
Okay. So Tibi, so if I'm an employee, I can come in and access your service at no charge. Am I correct there? So if I'm a consumer, I'm an employee, I can come in and access and utilize the service for no charge? Is that
correct?
Okay.
And
then are providers able to position themselves there at no cost, and then you take a percent of the transactions, or how does it work? How does the business model work?
Yes. So our model works by charging the employer. The hospitals play no role in this. We don't get paid by hospitals because they don't play a role. All we do is we either in network or out of network, depending on the system this employer has. We're identifying. We're looking for quality hospitals that charge under the employee's average. So the employer would pay us $1 PEPM, just $1.
Okay, so it's PEPM. Okay, I got it. Okay, so it's the employers that are paying for this service on a PEPM basis.
Well, it's actually a combination between the PEPM and some share of whatever we save. We make sure that the PEPM would be compelling enough, which is just $1, obviously. And then once the bonus comes into the employee for actually making the right decision, we get our bonus too, which is 5% of whatever we save.
So
everything.
So you're being compensated on savings that you are providing through your service. Okay, that's good. I like that. Now, when did you formally launch this, Tibi, to the market?
Yeah, we launched about 2 months ago, and we had a press release jointly with our first customer. We got a very interesting first customer, which I think was a very, very good opportunity for us. We can either have this thing B2B, in other words, we can have the business use it like a TPA or anybody use it at their offices, which makes it, the engagement even better, or we can just push it to the employees, of course, to use themselves. That's fine. What happened with our first ClaimDoc is was our first customer. They're a claim auditing company that runs reference-based pricing for employers, and they're running it from their offices, and the pre-approval of those surgeries is done with our product. And so what happens, of course, we get better feedback, and we get 100% participation. Anybody that calls goes through this prism. Not prison, but prison with an M, Mary. And so, so this is really exciting. I just came back from training their team last week in Florida, and we had a real case. One of the mornings, we had a real case they couldn't resolve for 6 or 7 months, and within 15 minutes, we got UCLA, the number 3 urology hospital, to say, okay, one of the best doctors, they say, okay, then 15 minutes, DoctorGlobe did its job. And it was just fantastic. It's just fantastic.
That's pretty exciting stuff. Now, Tibi, is this national in scope right now, or where are you as far as building out connectivity with the providers across the country?
Yes, this is national, and I'm looking for self-funded employers through any intermediary, which is always making more sense because it's very hard to talk to them. They're always referring you to their consultants, brokers. So we go through that. Of course, TPAs, which we are already in contact. Interestingly enough, we didn't think about it, but stop-loss companies find a lot of interest in this, of course, because they say, wait a minute, we get to lower the spill to us by much if this is going on. We can actually lower your rates, you guys. They say to their brokers if you use DoctorGlobe. So now I do get phone calls from surgery centers and such as well. They want to sign up, and we're holding off on that. We're trying to focus first on the most common place everyone goes. And the hardest, of course, so far, inpatient care. And of course, remember, we do all surgical, so surgical centers would not do for a heart bypass or dilation sometimes, or even bigger stuff for heart.
Mm-hmm. So how about medical claim management firms, or is that a little too far down the line for you?
Medical claim management, sure. I think it's pretty close to what ClaimDoc does.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah.
And exchange
I know you've been with us at some of our exchange events. Are you having dialogue with some of the emerging exchanges and with the connectivity there?
Yes, I've had one connection through a TPA in Texas with a Chicago private exchange run by Maestro.
Yeah.
So, yes, and that may be a very good option as well. Any platform that would actually put us on, I think would have a good contribution to their members, no question. This is very exciting. It's bringing every day new possibilities for this because, as you know, nothing of this sort has been built because it's been held back because there was no price. And without a price, you can't build an Expedia or a Priceline without a price, obviously.
Right. Yeah, exactly right.
And yeah. Now, what we've done I'm sorry.
No, it's been great. We're kind of coming to close this segment, and I want to give you the opportunity to kind of close it out and leave our audience with some takeaways, plus let them know how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, no problem. So basically, we're the ultimate hospital shopping platform surfing your existing network and benefit plan. So in other words, we're not a substitute to your plan. We're just surfing it. We can plug in and look within your Aetna or any Buca network. So we're the most flexible. We can look in network, out of network, and whatever. And then we're the most adoptable. I mean, any employer can say, you know what, I want to save minimum $5,000 on each procedure and no less than 20%. Whatever it is, we can tweak anything. It's totally adoptable. And we find and rank quality care providers who charge under average price in the area of the user. And finally, we're the most affordable. $1 PEPM, and then, if we save, if we get them to go, which is the thing here. How do you get people? How do you start controlling and nicely, not and just affecting their decisions or their habits through action? So we handhold your employee through an educating journey towards a rewarding recovery, because the employee will get no out of pocket, but above that, some kind of a bonus, some share of what they save, the employees, which hopefully will get them to think. Sometimes it's a $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 play here for the employee. And the only decision an employee gets to make here that is new is, do I want my money or do I want my doctor? That's all, because we inversed the process. We start with the hospital, because if we start with a doctor, no way to control the price. You guys know that. The doctor's at 5% of the price.
Well, Tibi,
so that's what we.
It's been great having you on the program, and people can go to DoctorGlobe.com, correct? DoctorGlobe.com.
Correct.
And I want to remind our audience that he will be speaking at IHC Forum West in Las Vegas, November 9th to 10th, where you can come in and meet Tibi and talk more about how Dr. Globe can help you. Tibi, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.